it was always going to be fairies. It's a fairy on a hedgehog fallen into fairyland, and I don't think I'm going to come out. Who knows what fairies think? I mean, I can't separate fairies and nature. The last one that I'll do will be the first one I want shown. If the fairies are taking care of animals, it's okay. He's got a fairy on his back. Even as a little kid, I would, be fascinated by what was out in the yard. And probably to my mom's detriment, I would pick apart flowers and stuff. The things that nature does with the material it has is just fascinating. Remember when I learned about Fibonacci, that sequence in the pattern in sunflowers and stuff. I will tell you, you can't save that nature material forever. Because I had bags of stuff and little buggies come out. The fairy has marshaled in her praying mantis to guard the wheat and eat up the grasshoppers. Right. The more I thought of what is the story with this, I thought, gosh, the mantis is kind of ferocious. He lops off the head and eats them. It's okay. He's got a fairy on his back. The fairies in the polar bear are going to be tinier. I didn't know how else to put a large size fairy in the middle of the ocean. So they're going to be flying and they'll be tiny. They're going to try to use their magic wands to make ice for the poor polar bear who's stranded. I had them all laid out yesterday, and they do look like a storybook. The last one that I'll do will be the first one I want shown. It's going to be like you open the book and there's the first page. It's going to be like welcoming. I'm going to draw a figure actually going, come here, come in. And then, but I'm putting glitter on all the fairies' wings. I went back to the first one I did and I threw more glue on her and sprinkled glitter. She's the tiny fairy on the lily pad, so she doesn't have much wings showing. The fairies are taking care of animals, and I think in each one I had an animal or something they were trying to help. It was their connection to nature. It's just I can't separate fairies and nature. So I tried to throw in the climate change, and many times I wonder if I forced it. I forced a question about climate change, because who knows what fairies think. I mean, you're interviewing this crazy old lady. I'm starting to think about it in my dreams. Like I pull out scenes and I run them like what is it when actors, little dress rehearsals going on in my head, and I'm like, is this how it's going to happen? I don't know. There's a little sidebar. This is coming from my dreams and ruminating on why does Jeannie like fairies? When the girls were little, we made a fairyland, and we filled it with bits from the yard, from walks in the woods and stuff. And I told myself I would never make another fairy house, because after a while the critters move in and they're very messy. But I'm kind of dreading doing the polar bear, because what's happening to them and their world is just really upsetting to me. I think I saw a video one time of a emaciated polar bear trying to find food, and he didn't have enough strength to walk, and he was dying on film. So sad to me. Anyway, and I've gone through a lot of thought about why in the heck do I like fairies so much? And it ties in with nature. And then from nature, I go back to my dad. Dad was a big nature enthusiast. He wasn't a tree hugger or anything like that, but he always loved being outside. We weren't a camping type of family or anything, but he would just sit out in the backyard, smoke his cigarettes. And so that brings up a lot of stuff with my dad.
Okay.
Poor hermit crab has a bottle cap on instead of a seashell. It's exactly what's happening. I've fallen into fairyland, and I don't think I'm going to come out. I mean, I like doing fairies, so it was always going to be fairies. But it's a fairy on a hedgehog, so it was always going to be fairy. Who knows what fairies think? I mean,